What's going on, guys? Coach Carr here, bringing you another video. Now this one is on page 15 and 16, and you're using the coordinates to be able to find area and perimeter. So the success criteria is you will be successful when you can find the area of shapes when given the coordinates. And then the learning target is to use coordinates to compute perimeters of polygons and the areas of triangles and rectangles using distance formula. So you will use that formula, especially for page 16. Okay, so we're starting off this video with page 15, number 1. Now, there is something I want to change. It says find the perimeter. I would rather us find the area. So we're going to find the area of the polygon A, B, C, D, E with vertices at 0, 3, B at 5, 5, C at 6, 2, D at 4, 0, and E at the origin, which is 0, 0. And they want us to show our work. Now, what I find when you have these actual coordinates, the easiest way when you have an irregular shape like this is to actually just turn it into a box or rectangle. And then if you notice after I do this, what it basically did was it made it so now we have 3 different triangles on the outside. So if we find the area of the full thing of what I just drew and then subtract these triangles, I'll find the area of this irregular shape. So first one I'm going to do is I'm going to find the area of the full rectangle that we did. So area of a rectangle will be first for me. Now, area of a rectangle is base times height. So the base, I can actually just count straight across. Goes from 0 to 6. So my base is, in fact, 6. The height goes from 0 to 5. So my height would be 5. So now when I multiply them together, I get 30. So now you want to find each of your triangles. So triangle 1, let's call this one the first triangle. So triangle number 1, you're going to use this formula base times height over 2. So one thing that we want to know is where the right angle is, because where the right angle is going to help us find our base. So since my right angle is here, my base is actually this here. So we want to count how many units it goes. So it goes 1, 2. So that means our base is 2. Now the height is going to be longer, and we start where this right angle is, and we're going to count how many that is across. So from here to here, that is 5 total units. So we have 2 times 5 in the numerator, and then it's divided by 2. So 2 times 5 is 10. Divided by 2 gives us 5. So that would be the triangle number 1. Now I'm going to make this one my triangle 2. So the right angle would be there. So again, we're going to be using the formula of base times height all over 2. My base, if I count, is just 1. So we'll make it a 1. The height goes 1, 2, 3. So 3 all over 2. 1 times 3 is 3. Hopefully you knew that. All divided by 2. And that gets me 1.5. And then last but not least, we have the triangle right over here. I'll call it triangle 3. Now we're going to find the area of this one. Again, we are still using base times height over 2. So the base, 1, 2. So 2. The height is also 1, 2. All over 2. So 4 divided by 2 is 2. So the area of all 3 triangles, if I add them together, would be 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8.5. Now, the area of the full rectangle, which included these triangles, was 30. So now what I want to do is do my 30 minus 8.5. And when you do that, you find your area of the irregular shape, and it would be 21.5 units squared. All right, home skillets, now we're on page 16, number 4. This says, find the perimeter and area of the triangle ABC with the given vertices. Show your work and round your answer to the nearest tenth if necessary. So first, let's go ahead and find the area, since we've been dealing with area a lot more recently. So area of this shape, hopefully you can figure out, is a triangle. So the area of a triangle has the formula of base times height over 2. So the thing that we have to do is find the base and the height. Now the base, since it's in a straight line, you can actually just count it. So we go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So for my area, the base is 6. Now we have to find our height as well. And the way that you do that is you have to find your highest point. That would be C. And I would want to make a straight line that goes down to the height of whatever our lowest point is. So it should make a right angle as well, which it would based on the way it's drawn. So I would want to count from C to here. So it goes down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So my height for this would be 6. And my base was 6 as well. So this 6 times 6 is all going to be divided by 2. 6 times 6 is 36. Still divided by 2. When you do that, you get 18. So the area equals 18 units squared. So I'm just going to rewrite that here. 18 units squared. And I'm using units because they didn't tell me if it was inches, feet, or whatever. So I'm just writing the units. Now, next up, we need to find the perimeter. So to find a perimeter, you have to find the distance of each side. Now, luckily for us, we've already found the distance here because it was in a straight line. So we know that one of them is 6. Now, the ones that we don't know is from A to C and from B to C. So we are going to have to find the lengths here. So if we're trying to find the distance of them, the length of them, we're going to have to use distance formula. So it's all going to be underneath the square root symbol. You have x2 minus x1, close the parentheses, squared plus y2 minus y1, close the parentheses, squared. So that's the formula we're going to use. So first one that we're going to find, let's try to find BC first. So B had the point of 9.1. C had the point of negative 3.7. So when I do this one, I am going to make C my x2, y2, and B my x1, y1. So now, when I do this, I would get negative 3 minus 9 squared plus 7 minus 1. Close the parentheses, squared. So next I do what's inside the parentheses. So negative 3 minus 9 is negative 12 squared plus 7 minus 1 is 6. And I can't forget that it also says it's squared. Now you want to square your numbers. 12 squared is 144. 6 squared is 36. So remember, even if I had the negative 12 times negative 12 turned it positive. Add these together, I get 180. When I do the square root of 180, I get 13.4. So the distance from B to C is 13.4. So next one that we want to find would be the length of A to C. That's the last one we need to find. So just like the last one, I'll make C my x2, y2, and A my x1, y1. So when I do this, I will have negative 3 minus 3 squared plus 7 minus 1 squared. Do what's in the parentheses now, and I get negative 3 minus 3 is negative 6 squared plus 7 minus 1 is 6. That's also squared. 6 squared is 36. 6 squared is 36. So now 36 plus 36 gives me 72. So the square root of 72 is going to get me 8.48. They want me to round to the nearest tenth. So to the nearest tenth means that 1 decimal place. So since there's an 8 behind it, I have to round up. So this one would be 8.5. So my length for AC is 8.5. So now, since I want to find the perimeter, a perimeter is when you add up all the sides. So I want to do 6 plus 8.5 plus 13.4. When you add those together, the perimeter will equal 27.9 units. And since it's perimeter, it's just going to be units. It's not going to be units squared. So 27.9 units. Thank you so much for watching. That's the end of this video. Now, after you've seen this one, you should be able to do exit slip number 4. So make sure you show me the note so you can get number 4.